All right. Happy Sunday. Happy Easter to everyone tuning in, and welcome to day 2 of No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast's coverage of WrestleMania. We are now on day 2 of WrestleMania after an epic day 1 of WWE action. And I love that I really have not gotten a chance to chat with Josh at all about yesterday's events. We had maybe, I think, 2 texts, and it was just like generic reactions to certain things, not bad ones, just generic. So we're going to discuss that. We're going to discuss everything that went down at WrestleMania yesterday, and we're going to get into night 2 here, what should be an epic finale. But yes, Alex, shout out to Alex Brown for calling it earlier than anybody with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. And, I don't want to rush through it, but I would just start off by saying that the way they did it was awesome. Yes. I am so freaking intrigued by it all. I don't want to miss out, but very quick, we'll go match by match quickly. But before we get into match by match, Josh, how are you doing, man?
Man, I am great. What a WrestleMania night 1. I enjoyed the little moment for Bandito. Who would have thought he'd get a WrestleMania moment ever? Ever. And there he is. That was funny to see. Yeah, dude, I fell asleep right before Tiffy. I saw the Barbie entrance. And then I told myself, okay, if I watch this tired, I'm not going to like this match. So I'm not going to give it a shot. So I turned it off. I woke up at 2:00 in the morning. I took a lap around the neighborhood, medicated, and turned it back on. And I watched the rest of the thing till 4:37 in the morning. And it was a good show. It was good. It was a really good show. And I'm trying to catch up on sleep as we talk. So RIP Josh, watching live tonight.
Yeah, I could see. Yeah, I see it in you, my man. I'll see it in you.
I texted you at 4:30, right, in the morning. You got my text?
Yeah. I saw it when I got up. I got up like 7:50. I was like tossing and turning. I saw a message on my phone, and I was checking just in case, like maybe it's family. And it was family. It's Josh. I consider Josh family. But I saw it. And it was like, you're like, I watched it. I fell asleep. I watched it. Good show. I was like, awesome. I did message you, and I know usually you're knocked out, or I know you said you were gonna stay up, but I did see, like, I was like, I didn't want to text, but I did, just because I liked how it finished. I will say it was a good show. I know a lot of people were kind of hating on it a little bit as it was going live, and I'm going to be honest. Really? This is one of the things I texted you. Really? I felt watching it was more about the audience than it was about the wrestlers and the show. The Las Vegas, I mean, the main event was awesome in regards of the audience, the crowd, but the start of it was a dud. It was a dud to me. It was very underwhelming. It took away from the show, and it tells you how important the crowd is to the show, and how, like, USA, wherever you may be when the WWE comes around, show up and show out. You're allowing, if you got that quote unquote American pride, you better show up and show up, because guess what? France, Puerto Rico's part is US, but France, Glasgow, wherever, Germany, they blew you guys out of the water. Like, that's what I texted. I was like, man, they need to go international, because I would love to see an international WrestleMania, because it would be unbelievable. Because I gotta say, most of the matches were enjoyable to me. I really, I look, starting it off, Jey Uso versus Gunther, which it made sense to start off with that, because if it's not the main event, have them start it out with a bang in regards of epic moments, and they did. I thought I love the way it finished. Those two, I will say, they got weird chemistry. They don't really gel too much, but I think they did okay. I think they got their story across. I know a lot of people weren't. I love the multiple splashes, and because it's like he did the power bomb and then the splashes, and then he wrapped it up with the submission, the sleeper, and I loved it. I did, because first off, that's what it's been going on with him. He gave him a taste of his own medicine. I know a lot of people. The IWC. Now I know what they are, so that's what I'm going to call them now. Yes. The IWC. But A lot of them are pissed off. Like, man, Gunther's tapping out that fast. But I love that somebody put a thread right under it. It was like, actually, that's what he does. He doesn't hang around for submissions. He usually taps pretty quick. And they showed a history of that in NXT and everything else. So, because I was a little surprised with how fast he tapped out, But when they put that thread in there, I was like, okay, it makes sense. But still, I love that Jey Uso wasn't the silly old Jey Uso. He came in serious. He did a couple yeets, but it was all business. And the chops, the big boots, he was like, it was the right amount of no selling. It was like, I wanted to see him kind of go, I think of like the old Samoan guy, whether that's Umaga or whomever, bang his chest, go crazy, and then keep going. That's how I felt. And I really loved it. And then that moment with Jimmy at the end where you could see the emotion, and it's like, that's what this is about. This is awesome. And you know what? Yeah, he's not the best wrestler, obviously, right? He's not that guy, but he got the crowd by his back. The audience loves him. That's what Triple H was saying, Paul Levesque, and it's true. And I was legitimate. I was here with my kids. That's what this is. When a guy, IWC can say whatever the hell they want, but when the crowd, everybody, 60,000 people are eating, and then I'm here with my 3-year-old with a broken finger, and my oldest, and then my son, and we're all eating, that's what this is about. And that's what he is. I don't know how long this title reign's going to go, but that was the right move for WWE to start it off. Jey Uso winning the World's Heavyweight Championship, finishing his story with getting started on another one. My man. So you didn't fall asleep yet. So you were up for this.
I was up for this.
Okay. What was your reaction?
Man, you were way more hyped. You were way more hyped than I am for this match. The match was fine. It was a good match. I'm not going to complain about the match quality at all. I liked the hard hitting. There was a moment where Jay sat up, and he has the tattoos on his chest. So when you're in a fight with Gunther, I see the comment. Let me finish the statement real quick.
No. I'm just pointing. I'm saying yes, I agree. Okay. I'm saying I'm giving my answer to him.
Okay. Becky might show up tonight. Cool. I mean, who else could it be? But we'll get there when we do get there. But you saw the welts on Jay's chest, which we never see because he's got those tattoos all the time, so it covers it up. And I'm like, wow, this is a real war. To me, it was a flat finish. Tap in like that sucked. I hated it. I'm not part of the IWC, but I will say this. I'd prefer Gunther to take a pin 1, 2, 3 over tapping in a flat finish, especially with such a high spots. Splash, splash, splash. Boom, 1, 2, 3. Bah, instead of splash, splash, splash. Choke. He tapped it. Well, it was just, I don't like tap finishes like that, especially when it's, I'm not a fan of it.
That's all. You.
That's all. But yeah, it was well done. Let's see what happens next. Let's see what happens on Monday Night Raw next.
And I will say, Alex says, we can't compete with the European fans. They do. Exactly. I get it. But you should. The fans should. You could do it. When there's 60,000, there's no reason why that place was as quiet as it was with 60,000 people. It's not like you're all tired. It's what if it's 7 o'clock here, it's 4 o'clock over there. There's daylight outside. You're at Wrestle freaking Mania, and that's what it is. I mean, like, I don't know, dude. Asher, do you think Becky Lynch will return tonight? It may look like that. We know, like, if you don't know what he's talking about, for those who are just joining us and tuning in, we're here at a Night 2 preview of WrestleMania for Night 2. We're recapping Night 1. Asher Bailey was attacked before WrestleMania Night 1, so now they are looking for her shoulders popped or whatever the hell happened. So they're looking for another partner. And of course, the obvious thought process is Becky Lynch, who was in attendance yesterday, and behind the scenes, the video that got released, she was sitting in Gorilla after the heel turn by her husband. She was ecstatic. She was going crazy, clapping, and like a kid just who just got some candy. And that made me pop. I was like, that's cool. Alex says, I yeeted as well when he came out. Jay's chest was bad. I agree with Kimmel. Should have been a pin, not a tap out. I get that. It was an underwhelming finish. But again, like I said, I was kind of like, but then when I saw some people posted threads like, hey man, wait a second, this kind of makes sense. Because it is a part of, like, he's been getting choked out. His brother got choked out. And then Gunther's history of tapping. I get it. I think, would you have felt better if they did the same finish, but instead of a tap out, like him just passing out?
No, because
You just wanted a pin. You wanted that finale.
I
One,
want the
two,
1,
three.
2, 3.
Got
Yeah.
you. Got you. Got you.
That's
Got
all.
you.
That's all. I mean, it was a better match than I expected. But to move on to the other matches,
Yes.
because we do have to preview an entire
Two.
show. The whole night was a lot of good matches. This might be a little disconnect or a little bit of a left turn here, right turn. I miss. Hear me out. I miss the backstage shenanigan spots at WrestleMania.
McMahon spots.
Yes, I do miss, not all the time, but
Yeah, I
I would
got
like
you.
to see a Ron Simmons. Damn. I'd like to see some interaction between like Ron Simmons and a current wrestler. Or you got like a goofy character or with Otis. And I don't know. I just like sometimes we need those breaks. And I feel like, wow, this WrestleMania is so much different because it's match,
Pure wrestling.
break, match, break, all flowed very well. It wasn't like the match ended like an AEW pay-per-view. It's 1, 2, 3. Okay, get the next guy out. Get the next guy out. Like they're quick. WWE has a good flow to it, but I do miss the backstage spots of like special.
I like that. I think you're absolutely right. And I know that our intro has that old classic WrestleMania theme, and that's something that I loved about those old shows when I would put those VHSs in from Hollywood Video or Blockbuster was, and they cut backstage and they're having the shenanigans with Bobby Heenan and excuse me, and Gorilla Monsoon and whatever, where it's the with the celebrities. They could have done that. Of course, they show the celebrities in the audience, but have a couple of them backstage, have them run into a heel or whatever. Those guys, the ones that don't have spots in WrestleMania, the solos and whatever, who made one appearance.
Braun Strowman.
Those are the guys that do have those little backstage segments that could be their moments. And so I like that, man. I didn't think of that. So I'm with you. I think you're absolutely right. Hopefully next year they kind of bring those back a little bit, because that is something of McMahon's that we do miss. Is just those little cut breaks.
Yeah. I mean, now they just go, oh, this is some random celebrity you never heard of that's on Netflix, and like that's their new spot. And it's like,
it's like
I
too many promotion.
I'm old, guys, but I'm not that old. But every celebrity they announced last night, I never heard of.
I'm with you, brother.
I don't. Happening? I popped for Kittle. I popped for Kittle. And I popped for Bandito. That's about it.
You did. You texted me that. You're like, look. And it was so funny. Justin Toner, happy Easter, my man. Happy WrestleMania Sunday to you. We appreciate you tuning in. Quick, the New Day, 13-time World Tag Team Champions. They win the tag team title. Let's see how they do with holding that belt. It was okay. Right?
Whatever.
It was whatever. It was what it was.
It is what it is.
Okay, let's just get to the next one. And I don't mean to skip them. I'm not skipping them. I think it was okay match. It was nothing. This finish was kind of okay, but whatever. They make history, and you know what? Deserving. We'll see what they do with that. Hopefully, they make those titles more legitimate, being the heels that they are. Robert Brown, appreciate you watching, my man, from Lafayette, Indiana. Awesome, my man.
Happy
Welcome
Easter,
in.
Robert.
There you go. Happy Easter. Jade Cargill versus Naomi.
There we go.
This was physical. Jade, first of all, both of them. I'm not saying one or the other, but I'll just say Jade came off looking really good. That suplex catching Naomi off the top.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Right? I mean, and then that, what is that called? Was it, oh my gosh, what's that powerbomb she did? And I know it has a name to it.
I don't know the name of it, but I know what you're talking about. Listen, let's sum this match up.
Go ahead, say it.
Let's sum this match up pretty quick. Entertaining. Excuse me. Entertaining. Sloppy. Jade still gets lost in the ring at times, which is suspected. But it did its job. Jade wins. I don't know where they're going to go with Naomi here. She lost pretty clean, right? 1, 2, 3, pretty straight up. So let's not fumble this Naomi character. Because that's going to be tough to recover, losing clean like that in the first feud right away. That's all.
Well, I'll tell you what protected her was how she was beat, because that powerbomb was sick. And even the referee, and I think it was like, it has to be the electric chair. I think it's the electric chair powerbomb or something like that, where it was the flip, and then my God. And it was awesome. It was awesome. And you know what? I think Naomi didn't need the win. I could understand if she would have, because of what she's done as this character. But I think that losing that way with that type of, that makes sense. Now how does it continue? Now, what do you do from here with her? because you can't just let this character die off in the sunset. There's money here with her.
Yep.
But Jade, again, like you said, there was some sloppiness, but she did well, and Naomi protected her, and you could see what's her bright spots. The next one I think was probably one of the better matches of the night as a start off, because the other ones where you could kind of make excuses why they weren't. But Jacob Fatu taking on LA Knight.
Robert Brown is actually a very important question, but we'll get there real quick because I'll break this match down real quick.
Yeah.
I am just shocked they let Jacob Fatu beat him clean 1, 2, 3, just like that. There was no shenanigans. If you think about it, there was no interference. There was no cheating. It was just he beat the man straight up 1, 2, 3. That's telling to me. I think Jacob Fatu is going to be the one turning babyface against Solo, and we're going to see a babyface Jacob Fatu pretty, as in a just want to see this guy wreck, not like a corny babyface. And I'm excited for it. Good win by Jacob Fatu. I enjoyed this match. It was physical, brutal.
Both of them were great. They had great spots, and it really, LA Knight, he may have dropped that title, but he's a superstar, dude, and he was awesome. And I think this was one of his better matches. And in Jacob Fatu, like you said, I think actually Big E said it really well last night. I think it was last night where he said, that WWE really tried to make Solo the man. It's just you can't ignore Jacob Fatu. He's the guy. And I'm with you. I don't think he'll be the face, but I think he'll be that anti-hero monster. We talked about it yesterday. That Umaga type. Obviously, he's not going to be Umaga. Umaga didn't talk and all this, but that type of like when his music hits, you're oh, here, let me get my ass kicked. Robert, who's new to the channel, which we appreciate, and watching for the first time, FTSN has been going on. Oh my gosh. FTSN in general, because No Holds Barred has been, probably this show in total with the former host of this show, and now us. I think 3 years. I don't know how long it's been, but the network has been 4 years, four or five, I think. FTSN. So we appreciate you joining, man. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to us. We're here every Saturday. Josh has another. He's on 2 shows here. 3 shows between the No Holds Barred, Real Talk Wrestling, and Fantasy Now Plus. And we got a lot of football, wrestling, basketball. We've got it all. So yeah, Justin says Jacob is very over. It was the right move. Also, LA Knight's still over. Exactly. No, I won't. Okay, I'm gonna let you do this one, my man. El Grande Americano.
What a great match. Phoenix. What a great match. I'm glad El Grande won. He needed to win. This was probably this. If I was about to fall asleep, this woke me up. I didn't hate the intro by Chad Gable or El Grande. I thought that was a good intro. What I mean by I don't hate that intro, I usually hate special WrestleMania entrances. I'm a weirdo like that. I don't like all the crazy things they do sometimes. This one was cool. It was different. Hope that's his entrance moving forward. Ray Phoenix showed out. Look, imagine that. Vikingo and Ray Phoenix on WrestleMania. And they've been in the company. Well, Bandito's not in the company, acquired by, but Ray Phoenix has been in the company less than a cup of coffee and a donut. And he showed out. He was spectacular. He didn't botch. He wasn't nervous. He performed like that had to be the biggest crowd he's ever performed in. I didn't know if he performed it all in or not. I can't remember if he was in the first all in or not. Justin might know that. But wow, what a fun match. I think it was third match of the night. I would give it top 3. I think the women's match was better, and I think that the main event was better.
Which women's match was better? I'm sorry.
We'll get there.
Oh, my bad. Okay, I was trying to make sure because we just passed one. I was like, okay, hold on a second. I will say, Robert, FTSN is live almost every day. We got content mostly every day, I think. Maybe not Mondays, unless something breaks. That's not on purpose. That's just, sometimes that's the way it is. But in regards of No Holds Barred, we're live every Saturday, unless there's a PLE we got to cover. Or if we got to take a day off and we jump on another day. But mostly every Saturday we're live around this time. Let's get into it. Charlotte Flair versus Tiffy Stratton. And again, I'm going to let you do this one because I know your thoughts before this match was going to happen. So now that it's over and you got to see it, what were your thoughts on it?
Man, they're You don't appreciate Charlotte enough because of her attitude and her aura and just the way she carries herself and the rumors you hear. But she carried Tiffy through that entire match. You saw the communication. You had to. It was pretty loud, their communication. I can
Hmm.
tell when Charlotte was telling Tiffy
When
to
she
do
was
something.
yelling at her, you could tell she was telling her, okay, this is what we're going to do now.
But there was many other moments of this,
Yeah.
and Charlotte did a great job guiding that match. I don't know if she called. Obviously, she probably didn't call it on the fly, but she did a great job guiding that match. It was physical. It felt real. These women crushed it. As much as I hate Charlotte Flair, as much as I want her out of the company, matches like these keep me interested in seeing what she can do with new talent because I think these girls meshed together. There wasn't as many botches. There was a lot of moments where Tiffy was like, "Okay, where am I supposed to be?" She kind of got lost in a moment a couple of times, but it wasn't too obvious. Overall, great match, great ending. Love the dynamic of them going after each other's knees and putting those finishers on. Love the dynamic of just the storyline of Tiffy just going over. Her face was all busted, her mouth was all bloody. Yeah, it was what a moment, what a reaction, what a visual. And honestly, that was one of the best women's matches in WrestleMania history, I think. So,
Gosh.
mhm.
Whoa. Wow. I will
Just
say,
Justin said, hold on, Justin saying it was messy. It was messy,
it
but
was.
what's kind of what I wanted and expected out of that match. I take it everything as a match by match basis, and that's what when you go into a Roman Reigns match 2 years ago with Jay, you're like, okay, this isn't going to be Hurricane Ranas and spears and suplexes. It's going to be a lot of story, talking, smacking, talking. You know, with this girls' match, with this women's matches, I wanted to see a lot of physicality. I wanted to see some blood. I wanted to see some red marks, and we pretty much got all of it for me. So I was really happy with this match.
Yeah, I preference first. In regard to what the comments are saying, I think you're right there. I don't think you're saying it. It wasn't messy. It was messy. It had to start that way. It couldn't be a clean wrestling match. There were some botches, and I think you're right. I think it was just some miscommunication and Tiffy on the big stage. But you started off right, and what we were pretty critical of Charlotte prior to WrestleMania. Was she going to do business? How is she going to save this one? We had no doubt. You, not a Charlotte fan, I, a Charlotte fan, but we had no doubt what Charlotte can do in the ring. And yesterday showed it. She still has it. When she's in that ring, dude, you know, she is who she is. And they said it. She's one of the goats, and that's what she is. I'd like to see them again get another shot at this and hopefully kind of work in kind of cleaner. But I like that it was ugly. I do. I like that, Tiffany came out. Yeah, she came out on top, which was the right call. It was the right call, but she came out bloodied and battered. Her teeth were broken. She had a bump on her forehead. And she did that to herself. I think it was the spine buster where she busted her teeth on Charlotte's head or something. I don't know, but I think it was the spine buster. But I can understand it wasn't at everybody's cup of tea, but I really enjoyed the
Wait,
match.
is the IWC hating this match, Bobby?
I saw some people not liking it.
Dude, I had fun watching it, and that's how I judge
Yeah,
matches. Do I have fun? Am I in my phone or am I watching the match? I was watching the
I
match. I
was
wasn't on my
watching it.
phone.
I stood up. I was here getting ready for the draft talk today because we were releasing our Miami Dolphins mock. So I was getting ready to do that. And I'm like this, and I'm writing, and I'm getting ready, and I have the rest for WrestleMania the day after, and I'm preparing for night 2 of that. And I'm like this, and I was kind of following on some matches. I was watching El Grande, and then when I saw your message, I got up and saw who you were talking about. But that was the one. This was the one where I actually stood up. Same thing with Jade Cargill, but this one I stood up and I stood and watched, and I was like, I need to see this. And they, it wasn't pretty. It's not going to be the one that maybe for Josh, which is awesome. But I felt like it was pretty cool. I really enjoyed it. And Charlotte is who she is. One of the best. I just hope that she works on some stuff and hopefully she gets her head. And hopefully yesterday that was the start of it. She got her head in the game and she went, but we'll see. We'll see. So awesome. Big surprise from Josh Kimmel. Loving that match.
Look at that.
Hey, man. So
Second best match of the night.
And here's the main event.
The best match.
Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, CM Punk. A lot of people, even though we knew how big this match was with these 3 guys, a lot of people question why this one was the main event. A lot of people was like, hey, this should be Jey Uso. This should be whatever. It should be the world title. You know what? This is why some matches should be the main event other than the world title. That's why Rock and Hogan should have been the main event, not Jericho and Triple H back in the day. This is why. Because if this match would have went before Jey Uso, the crowd would have been dead.
Mm-hmm.
These, I'm forgive me, Josh, I'm starting it up, but these guys killed it. There is no title involved, but it looked like it meant so much. I mean, the storytelling, the drama, the emotion, the moves, the twists, the turns, and if you're like, oh wait, and near pins, and you're like, you're waiting because we all kind of expected what was Paul going to do, and I mean, he really sold. I'm with he's doing the clock thing, he's doing the watch, he's it's like, holy damn, all right, he's kind of talking in CM Punk's his corner.
Yep.
And then the moment comes. And he grabs the chair. Because we've been watching. Nothing has happened. Nothing. But now he grabs the chair. And, you got Punk and you got Roman looking at him. They see him. And they're both going, give me the chair. You give me the chair. He hands it to Punk. And you're like, okay. But then when he gets in the ring, you're like, oh, okay. Because why are you going in the ring? There's no reason for you to be in the ring at this point for CM Punk.
Yep.
Low blow. He's crying. Roman's laughing with those big white teeth. Mm-hmm. I mean, my goodness, blinded me, but good for him.
Good for him.
And he starts beating the out of CM Punk. And Paul points at Seth Rollins. Go get yours. And there it is. Again, Roman gets blinded by his hate for Seth Rollins. And to me, looking at Seth, I love the way they sold that. It's like he was ready to get sacrificed, waiting for what was going to happen. And Paul sold it so well because I figured what was going to happen with CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
But when I saw how he's behind Roman, I'm like, I told my kid when it was about to happen. I told my kids, I was like, uh-oh. I said, this is it. This is the double turn. I told you. And they go, and there it goes. And then he did it. And he did it so violently and so much hate. With CM Punk, he cried. He was like, ugh. But with Roman, there was some real viciousness to that. But Seth Rollins, man, he sold that so damn well. He just stood there, let it happen. He just put his hand out. And I'm like, goosebumps right now. It was so perfectly done.
Yep.
And you know what? They stole the show. They proved why they should be the main event. And I hope going forward, everybody out there who, when they're watching WrestleMania, they go, the world title should be the main event. In some cases, yeah. Like John Cena, Cody Rhodes, that should be the main event, 100%. But this one right here was the right call. And for people the IWC who are like, I really don't like WrestleMania. I wish it was better. They were banging. They were going crazy for this match. And it ended the way it should have ended. And I loved it. And Seth Rollins, I cannot wait. I've gotten bored of Seth Rollins. Not anymore. I am really looking forward to this Seth Rollins with this Paul Heyman. My brother, are you with me? How do you feel about this match? How did you feel?
Man. It was, we all kind of guessed this was going to happen going in, but it didn't matter. As soon as he grabbed that chair, I'm like, well, he grabbed the chair for a reason because we're about to see Seth put this in Roman's back and pin him. Like I said, he was going to get. I think I'm the only person, by the way, that predicted that Seth was going to pin Roman. But, it is what it is. And this was perfect. Seth deserved the pin over Roman. Seth deserves the spotlight for a while. Seth has been jobbing to too many people for too long. This is his time. Loved it. I loved every. Roman can go away, right? Roman can go away now. CM Punk can go do whatever CM Punk's going to do. And Seth can wait for the arrival of the Tribal Chief to come back, and they're going to wrestle SummerSlam. And this is when Roman's going to get his win back on Seth because Roman hasn't beat Seth in a long time. So that's going to be a big match at SummerSlam, I hope. I hope that's the way they're going at least. But, yeah, it was a good WrestleMania, man. I don't know what people are hating.
It was an awesome night one, and I will tell you, and I'm just somebody that just enjoy the show. Don't overthink it. Yeah, like you could go, oh, this should have happened, and man, I would have liked this better. But I was like, can't we just enjoy it?
I like talk about the positives. Like I like Tiffy's entrances. That was a cool entrance. I liked seeing Living Color out there introduce CM Punk. Like there was a lot of good things out there. You know, there's a lot. You know,
And it was
I'll tell
hard
you what.
for. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
My daughter, who doesn't watch wrestling at all, gosh, there's a fly that's flying around me. One, it's driving me nuts. My daughter comes in at the very beginning and she sees Jelly Roll, and before that, they're playing like the theme music and it's all hip stuff I don't know. And she's like, "Oh wow, like WrestleMania is vibing now." She's like, "What? Why does it look different? Why is it different?" That's what my daughter asked me. Why is it different? Like, what do you
Oh
mean? She's
wow.
like, "It's just." She's like, "It just seems cool." Then she's Jelly Roll and she's like, "Wait, why is Jelly Roll at WrestleMania?" Because obviously she's a fan of him. It's just appealing to the younger generation in a better way. Like it's just appealing to someone like my 14-year-old daughter who would never watch wrestling, and she actually sat down and watched Jelly Roll sing. And at least she got, they added one more viewer for at least 5 minutes. It's just I don't know, it's just such a cooler environment. I don't know, I can't explain it. Right? It just seems cool.
Yeah, it was a big WrestleMania feel, and it was only night one, and I enjoyed it. I know. I mean, I think a lot of people were down on it because they're looking for the night two. You know what I mean? It's like, this is night one. Let's just get the night two, because
Yeah.
obviously night two has the bigger matches. Now you add, who is Valkyra's tag team partner. But let's not start. We'll start off with AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. Where's your excitement level on this match? How do you feel it might end?
Yeah, I mean, Logan Paul's got to go over. I'm excited to see what they do. It'd be cool if, AJ Styles can do a really cool Styles clash on Logan Paul somewhere. I hope someone goes through a table in this match. I know they're going to save that for Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre probably. But I don't know. I like to see what Logan Paul does. Anytime he's in the ring, it's just going to be a fun wrestling match. But story-wise, hmm, like there's no story, but let's see some
No.
flips and some dives.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's WrestleMania. This is where you like, we get to see a match probably we wouldn't get to see on a normal thing.
Yep.
I think they're going to try to do everything. It's going to be a spot fest, but it's AJ Styles, and he knows what it's about, and he knows how to put a match together and make a match matter. I think we're come away from this match really enjoying it. Yes, we will, and yeah, we'll talk about Randy Orton's Open Challenge. That's not on here, but we will discuss that. But AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. You think Logan should go over or will go over?
Yep.
I don't know that what will do that. What would that do for him? But I get it. He's a younger guy. Put him over. AJ Styles gives back, but I'm gonna roll with AJ on here.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna roll with AJ over Logan. I don't care. I don't want to see Logan win, but I'm not. I wouldn't hate it, but it's just like, Sin City Street Fight.
Yes.
This is a big one. This is one that damn well both of these guys, they've had killer years. We both voted for Drew McIntyre to be Wrestler of the Year for what he did, what he was able to do in WWE. The number one feud with CM Punk, match of the year, most likely with the Hell in a Cell. But him and Priest though, as the world champion, at first starting slow, but then just blowing it away as it got bigger, and even after the title was bigger than the title at that point, after he lost it. I think these guys are going to put it all on the line. I'm really looking forward to this match. I think our draws are going to drop. They're going to try to steal the show, I think. I don't know if they will. They're going to try. Gosh, my heart says Damian Priest. My head says Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, my head and heart both say Drew McIntyre in this one. It's going to be one of those fun matches. Drew can make anything interesting no matter what. Drew can go in there and have a feud with anyone, especially this new unleashed version of Drew where he just says whatever he wants and does whatever. He's just a much more fun character rather than a corny babyface carrying around a fake sword. Damian Priest, super cool guy too in the main event. Well, this is one of the main events to me. I'm really looking forward I love hardcore matches done well. As in, no holds barred matches done well, and I think they do it well in WWE. So Drew McIntyre is going to win. He needs to win. He hasn't really won a big match in a while. But will it crush Damian Priest? Like, do you think Priest would get hurt by this at all?
No, depending on what the finish is. That's if it's like a war and he came out looking like $1 million in a war, like he fought, he didn't get squashed. No, it's not going to hurt him. It wouldn't hurt Drew either. But I think Drew is better off winning, and I think he will pick up the win. But I don't think it will hurt Damian Priest at all. Before we get into the women's tag title match, Randy Orton. Big E has said the rumors about somebody outside the company.
Oh, I already know who it
Free
is.
agent. Do you know who it is, or
Yeah,
are you?
yeah.
Okay.
Why do you think they acquired AAA, bro? It's Vikingo. Vikingo versus Randy. think about think about that RKO though. Vikingo could do like a triple moonsault, 550, 450 splat. What about that move Chad Gable did? The backflip, sit down, whatever the heck that was. Vikingo could do all that, and then boom, RKO 1, 2, 3. That's what. No, I honestly don't know. I have no clue who his opponent could be.
Okay, besides Vikingo, right? I don't know if I said that right, but besides him, who would you want it to be out of the guys like, of course, Aleister Black, Rusev, or somebody within the WWE? Who is the guy that you would like this to pop in and be Randy Orton's mystery opponent?
I mean, my mind is so boring, and not one person has said it. I haven't heard it because it's not sexy and it's not fun and it's not juicy. But Kevin Owens is best friend. Just hey, this is supposed to be Kevin's big match. Let's have a match for Kevin, Sammy. But it's not set up that way. He would have debuted or he would have came out on SmackDown and said, "Hey, I'll take Kevin's spot," but it's not going to be him. So I'm going to be 1,000% honest with every single person in the chat and you and to the world. I'm so uninterested because if it's Aleister Black, you're going to beat him night one. You're killing him. If it's Rusev, you're going to kill him. If it's one of those two guys, they better come out and look good and they better win or they're just dead. You can't have someone re-debut and lose right away. You can't. It's like a call-up. You call up Killer Cross or Karrion Kross. You have him lose to Jeff Hardy right away. He's already dead. You call up Keith Lee. You put him in a Bearcat suit. You already killed him. The really rare circumstances like LA Knight got past Maxine Dupree or Max Dupree. It's really rare that it happens. But people just don't recover. So if it's those guys and these people are calling for it in the chat, then these guys, like if Rusev's coming back, then he better be presented as a main event player moving forward and he better beat Randy Orton. Otherwise, you're just going to bury him night one. And what's the point of that? Because
it's Rusev.
But everyone loves Rusev. People want to see Rusev.
They love Rusev Day. But you're not getting...
No. See, this is what you're missing out. Every single person they brought in from AEW, besides the select few like Alexis King, has gotten a prominent spot. Ricky Saints is already a champion. Ethan Page was already a champion. Sean Spears is getting a champ. I believe he's some kind of champion or he's in a major stable. Every single Jade Cargill, Cody Rhodes, everyone that's come over has gotten a spot. Rey Fenix already had a WrestleMania match. Penta, they made him a big deal. They're proving a point right now that we will go poach their talent and we'll make them superstars because they can't.
Is Rusev an AEW talent or is he a WWE talent?
Was Cody Rhodes an AEW talent or WWE talent?
Cody Rhodes is a different beast. What did Cody Rhodes do after he left WWE? He became
Rusev,
the American Nightmare. Rusev became Miro and was nothing.
He was nothing, but this is like a reborn, a rebirth. So you're gonna rebirth him on Easter, and just to kill him? Is that what we're doing?
Don't do that. That's awesome. Oh no, I can't do it. That's horrible.
I mean, what if it's a situation where if it's Nick Dallas is like, I just can't find someone, and Randy's like, well, then you better get your ass in here. Like what? I just don't know. I don't know. And I'm okay. The reason why I'm uninterested is because Randy Orton's a babyface, and there's no big free agents out there.
And you're gonna make the babyface lose, and it's the type of babyface where it's Randy Orton. Like that's why, in a perfect scenario, in the best world, like best case scenario, in my opinion, would be the Lesnar of the world who could come back and just tear him up, and that makes sense because it's Lesnar, someone like that. But Rusev, Miro, whomever. I don't know how you can make it make sense that he goes over. You're going to beat Randy Orton. Sami Zayn makes sense. I give you that. I think Sami Zayn would make a lot of sense. Solo Sikoa would make sense because he's not on the card. And he could lose, which again, that kills him further. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I just think if it's
what about Chris Koffler?
Give me someone who.
Uncle Howdy.
Okay, go ahead.
Uncle Howdy getting his revenge from the Fiend from a long time ago. That's the only thing Chris Koffler brought up. Was like, what about Uncle Howdy? I'm like, but nobody would care. Not one person would care. one person would care.
The IWC won't care. I think the live crowd would flip, but again, they're dead as nails. So maybe you're right. And again, I guess that would make sense because I need to have somebody that I could feel comfortable with Randy Orton losing to, which it's not, because then you're like, okay, who does he beat? And like you said, it's a two-way sword, because if it's Rusev, who supposedly is coming back as the next big thing, he can't lose. If it's Aleister Black, they haven't been promoting Rusev. They've been promoting Aleister Black. You can't have him fall right away, So Sami Zayn would make sense, because I think, hey, I'm his friend. Let's do this for him. And they do it. And then RKO wins. Awesome. Or Sami, kick, whatever, wins. Awesome. I would feel better for that. So yeah, I'm going to roll. You said it originally. I'm going to roll with Sami. I know it makes a lot of sense to have one of these outside guys do it. I just don't know if any outside guy makes sense, because I would love to see an outside guy that I go, oh shoot, maybe Randy could lose, but none of those guys I could see Randy Orton losing to. Sorry.
Joe Hendry.
He can't lose to Joe Hendry.
No, but Joe Hendry can get a big spot at WrestleMania and lose.
100%. I think that hey, that's awesome. If that could be a moment there, the TNA, right? He's still isn't he injured? Or am I crazy?
I don't know if he's injured or not.
But either way, I think that works. They said someone outside the company, they said somebody from another company, a free agent. So they're really leaving all the cards on the table. We're going to see, and it's probably going to be someone we're not talking about, and it's going to be a surprise because that's what WWE's doing. So we'll wait and find out. But it is a very intriguing thing. Josh will probably be asleep. He'll probably get spoiled on a phone. Somebody might text him or he'll see it. Hopefully not. 4 a.m, he'll look at it and he'll message me.
If I don't go on the internet, I'm not part of the IWC, and I had 9 text messages when I woke up at 2:00 in the morning. I left them unread the entire time. So I'm not an idiot, right? But I am an old man and I will fall asleep. And you know what? It's a choice, guys. I choose to do this.
I choose to go to sleep.
Damn right.
Oh man. But go on to the women's tag team titles. Before WrestleMania yesterday, Bayley was beat down, and she is not in the match tonight. She's been pulled. So Valkyria has a mystery tag team partner. So it's not only Randy Orton's opponent, it is Laura Valkyria's tag team partner, who needs to be figured out to face Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Any idea who it could be other than Becky Lynch? Is there someone else no one else is thinking about?
It's got to be Becky. There's no other option unless it's unless it's Naomi and she attacked Bayley, and then she could just run it back. I don't know. Bobby's gone. That's okay, unless I'm gone. But yeah,
no, I'm not. Am I gone? I still see everybody. I see everybody.
Somebody was gone, unless it was me. But I do think it's going to be Becky Lynch. Why wouldn't it be Becky Lynch here? This was probably the original plan, or them working together at some point.
Yeah, it was said because she's not really hurt. She was scheduled to be pulled for a while. That's what they said yesterday. So Bayley was not really penned for this match. So whatever WWE's doing, they had planned. So it more than likely is Becky Lynch. I'd love to see the end game, right? So where are we going to have, if it's Becky, they have to win, right? Titles are changing hands.
Listen, this is going to sound really bad, especially in 2025. Don't cancel me. I just want to see Liv Morgan wrestle, bro. That's it. I don't care who wins. I don't care who loses. I'm just in it to see Liv Morgan perform. What a performer. No one's better at the top of their game right now.
How would I get you canceled?
I didn't say a lot of stuff. But just Liv Morgan's top of the card when it comes to women's wrestling at this point.
I'm a heel at my house when it comes to wrestling. My kids hate it. I'm a Liv Morgan mark. I'm all about Liv, 100%. I get it, Dom. I get it. I sympathize with you. She is awesome. First of all, she is legitimately, no joke, awesome. She's done great. She's great in the ring. She's a great character. So I'm with you. I will say this. Becky or no Becky, I think they retain the titles because I think it's a turn. If Becky is the tag partner, Becky's going to cost them the match, and it's going to be Valkyria versus Becky for the Intercontinental title because Valkyria has not had a legitimate opponent. She has not defended that belt like Chelsea Green, who should be on this freaking card. But yeah, I think if it's Becky, this will be the turn, and Becky will be a heel like Seth, and she's going to challenge Valkyria, and she may win that title, or it would give Valkyria a reason to be more legitimate. Let's see here. Eric says, just like my Dolphins, been a wrestling fan just like the Dolphins, I've been a wrestling fan for a long time. Awesome, man. That's really cool, Eric. In Cobb's from Hawaii. There you go. If it's been for a while, it is what it is with Bayley. I mean, I don't know, dude.
Yeah, everyone can't get a slot on WrestleMania, and she had a slot last year in the main event or against Io Sky. So, but this next match, this is when things are going to get hot because we got a
Intercontinental title. Yep.
Braun Breaker, the badass. We have Penta, Afraid of Nothing. Finn Balor eventually may get his day in the sun, and the wild card, one of the main characters of the television show, Dominic Mysterio. I'm just so excited for this match. Did everyone see Steiner do Steiner math on the Pat McAfee show? Because going into the match, he has 25% chance to win, but Dom
he did 120, right?
Yeah, that was dude. When people listen, I didn't want to say it yesterday because people were saying it yesterday, like Heyman and Braun Breaker are money. Braun Breaker doesn't need it. He's got the charisma. He can talk. He can talk enough. He might not be a wordsmith like Jim Cornette or like a John Cena, but he can talk enough. He's a badass. He doesn't need Paul Heyman. I'm really excited for this match. I like Braun Breaker killing everybody, but in the end of the day, I think Dominic Mysterio is going to walk away with this Intercontinental title. And people are calling me crazy for this. I don't think so.
I don't think you're crazy. I won't say you're crazy. I don't agree with you, though. Okay. I think it is Dominic Mysterio. I think Mysterio is going to win this title tonight.
Wait, what'd you say?
I think it's Dominic Mysterio is going to win.
I just said that. I said I think Dominic Mysterio is winning.
Oh, I thought you said Breaker. My bad. I thought you said
Dominic.
Breaker. Oh,
yeah,
my bad.
I think Dom. Yeah, Dom. Yeah,
you were saying Breaker. Okay, my bad. All right, my bad.
I'm excited.
Then I agree with you.
Everybody. Yeah.
I'm tired, folks. Damn.
Like I want to see somehow someone do a Canadian Destroyer, and the guy pops up, and then Braun Breaker just spears that guy. I just want to see all this action. That's all. I want an AEW match tonight. I've been saying it for all week. AEW this motherfucker up. Please.
God. I hope not. But hey, you know what? Spot Fest, right? That's where you're getting.
CM Punk gave Seth Rollins a GTS. Roman Reigns then speared Punk. Seth Rollins did not sell the GTS. Gave Roman a curb stomp.
He sort of did. It's not like he said about no.
Seth Rollins didn't even sell. He didn't even sell a GTS.
No, bullcrap. He sold it. He got the GTS. He fell on the ropes. He saw he's about to go. He saw Roman on the. He did the curb stomp, and then he collapsed, which was an awesome segment. If that was Will freaking Gymnastics Osprey, he would have been like this right after the GTS and keep going. The freaking douchebag. That don't even compare the 2 or the 3. Osprey wishes he had that moment yesterday, but he's probably going, don't worry, man. I'm going to do it on this next show. WrestleMania top 5 star.
All in, bruv.
Dave Meltzer. All in. Dave Meltzer, 5 stars.
He's not paid, bro. You know what? When he jumps ship over, you're gonna be eating all your words. I promise you. You will.
Yeah, because then Triple H is gonna fix them. It's gonna make them, say, hey man, we know what you can do. We know you can do the flippity flop, don't come back thing. You know what I'm saying? But now we're gonna show you how to actually get it done. And then we're gonna say, wow, that's Will Ospreay, man. And then you're gonna have these AEW marks going, you're stealing all of our talent.
You sound like the IWC, bro.
No, I don't. IWC loves AEW. They love them.
All right, back to this. So Dom wins. Fun times with Dom's the title.
I'm with you. Yes.
Okay.
I'm with you.
All right. Cool. All right.
Triple threat
match.
Yeah.
Io Sky coming in as a champion, being disrespected week after week. Bianca Belair is getting booed out of every single arena around the country, around the world, and Rhea Ripley is so freaking bloody over. She can do no wrong. This match is going to be spectacular. I think they're going to try to outdo, obviously, everyone else that performed before them. I think they're going to, but they're going to be the first match, I believe. I really do think they're going to try to outdo the women's match of Charlotte and Tiffy. But I do think they're going to be the first match. Am I wrong? Did you hear that?
I did not hear if they were going to be the first match. It wouldn't surprise me though. I mean, the way what WWE did yesterday with Jey Uso, kind of so but you kind of start off with the world title and then you end it obviously with the undisputed title, but with the big match, the finale. So yeah, I could see that.
Yep. People want Io to keep this title so bad, and it's probably going to happen. It's just my heart
But you have
doesn't want it
Bianca.
to happen. I want Bianca. I want Bianca. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a spoiler. That's what you've been saying. You've been saying
Yeah.
Bianca for a while.
But now it's just not going to happen.
I think I've told you though the way this, and I think this again I could totally be wrong, but just the way this story has played out, it screams Io Sky winning. She's been the lame duck, she's been the afterthought. It's all been about Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. I can't see anyone else. I mean, either one could win. Any one of these three can win, and we call it a night, or and some you could find reasons to be happy with, because Rhea Ripley is Rhea Ripley, right? She's the most over thing in wrestling in the women's division. Bianca Belair, for whatever reason, is totally, without even turning a heel, has totally fell off a cliff with the fans for whatever reason. But Io Sky, again, being the afterthought, I believe Io's going to come out. And Justin says he thinks that or maybe do we think Naomi attacks Bianca?
It's a possibility.
I think Jade. I have a suspicion Jade's going to be a part of this match somehow. Not be in it, but involved. Maybe Jade finds out Bianca was involved in this attack.
I am officially changing my pick. I don't think, and this is not official on the scorecard for Real Talk Wrestling for those guys watching. Those are in stone. But I do think that, because if they're opening the show, they want to make people happy, because spoiler, I think we both are going to say the same thing. We think Cena's going to walk away with this title. So it's going to be the same way. You make the fans happy at the start of the show to get everyone riled up. People want Io to win. People love Io. And then you end the show with a bad note where Cena's going to be holding up that title. So same formula as yesterday. The good guy will win. People will be happy. It's just, I'm sorry. Io's awesome. She's this, she's that. She could flip, she could wrestle. She's great. But she sucks as a storyteller, like outside the ring, the mic, the feuds. And what's left? How many more heels does she have to face over there? I don't know. We'll figure it out, I guess. I guess we'll figure it out. I don't know.
Maybe when she goes one-on-one with somebody and they could take the belt off of her, whoever that may be, right after Bianca or Rhea, whomever. Again, I don't know. When I see the Women's World Championship, it doesn't look right on anybody other than Rhea Ripley. And again, I have Io as my pick. But when I see that belt and I see it on Liv Morgan too. Liv Morgan had held that belt and it was great. She had a monster run. But you always like, oh, Rhea Ripley's coming back for that. That's Rhea's belt. Just like back in the day with Triple H on Raw with Ric Flair Evolution. You saw that World Heavyweight title on Shawn Michaels. You saw it with anybody else, and you're like, that's Triple H's belt. Mm-hmm. Like, let's be real. Eventually he's going to get that back. So that's Rhea Ripley right now. And, there's no one other right now on Raw who should have that belt other than Rhea. So I can understand Rhea winning it, but Io Sky, I think, has to win it just because the way it has to make her look more legitimate, because then she can never be taken seriously ever again after this. And the IWC's like, she should be the champ. She needs to win the belt. They gave her a chance already. She didn't do it, so this is the chance for her to do it. This is it. The main event, Undisputed Championship, the biggest match of the weekend in regards of hype. The biggest babyface currently in our time versus the biggest babyface possibly in the history of professional wrestling in WWE, with John Cena. Cody Rhodes versus Cena. The build has been slow, sometimes lacking, but I think it's really picked up. Obviously, these two didn't even have to see each other. You could have just went into this match really with no story, and it would have been just as huge. But I think there's so much. Like, a lot of people go, oh, Cody's going to win. That's it. John Cena's going to win. That's it. It's not that simple. Something's going to go down tonight. Something shocking. We'll go back to Friday. I want to talk about this yesterday, but Friday Night SmackDown when John said, I don't need to wrestle to beat you. I did a mental note of that. And I'd love to get what he means by that. I don't think it's going to be, I hope it doesn't end that way. I hope it's not a, 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 I hope it's not because I started thinking, whoa, wait a second, is it like a total screw job where like, they don't have to wrestle, something happens and John just comes out on top, and which shocks the world and people are going to be pissed. But then you did the job. I hope not, because I would love to see these two go at it. I would love to see a match. This match that might go down is one of the best just because of the names that are in it. But at the same time, if it does start off as these two going at it, and how long before we get that interference, and who is the interference? Because we know The Rock, right? We have an idea it could be The Rock, and more likely it is. Absolutely. But wild card. What if it's Seth? What if Seth's involved in this somehow? What if it's not just Paul Heyman that he's aligned with? I'm just saying, I don't know why this has been itching at me since yesterday, and it makes a lot of sense. I just don't know if you're really, does Seth chase after Jay, and then now you got The Rock standing over two champions? I just have a suspicion, but we know it's The Rock. I'll just tell you this. However it goes tonight, in regards of interference or no interference or whatever, John Cena has to go over.
Yep.
Has to. He's been crossroads. He's gone, even though like his heel turn has been enough for fans to be satisfied with his appearance. He's ended on his back too many times on too many shows with Cody standing strong for Cody to stand strong at WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. John Cena has to win the 17-time world championship tonight. That's where I stand.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind. This is the lock of the night. Sorry, Cody. Your run was great. It's fun times. All right. Whoa. But John Cena's winning this title. It's you wasted all of our time. You wasted all of our time if you didn't. It just sucks that The Rock has to be involved. I'll just be upfront with that. I know he's going to be involved. I know he'll be there tonight. I know Travis Scott will be there probably tonight. And that's just such a waste because we haven't seen you or mentioned you. I mean, they mentioned him here or there, but we haven't seen nothing since Elimination Chamber. This should have been, if you're going to be part of the story, be part of the story, other than you're just taking the spotlight away from these two great performers. But it is what it is. People will pop. It'll be all over the news, Entertainment Weekly, be on MTV, it'll be on ESPN. No matter what happens tonight, it's going to make headline news. And it's going to be exciting. And we're going to start the new season over on Monday night, and we're going to have a great Raw. And it's going to, be the start of a new year, as we all say in the wrestling world. And I'm excited, man. What do you think? Do you think we'll get any celebrities tonight? Do you think we'll get any surprises?
Surprises will just be, again, where does Becky go in? Is Becky that tag team partner? Is it someone else? Or does Becky get involved in the Women's World Championship? Because I just said, Rhea Ripley, that's all you see with that belt. Does Becky, can Rhea, because if Rhea wins, she stands strong, and if Becky shows up and says, hey, I'm coming, and then you got that new season, maybe, so that's where, the mystery, like that's a surprise. And of course the Undisputed Championship, we're all going to be looking for just like we were waiting on Paul Heyman yesterday to happen. And when they did it awesome. And I expect the same. We could say everything about it, be like, oh, it's going to suck. Oh man, I wish it wouldn't. But at the same time, when it goes down, the way they've been cooking, it's going to go off big, whatever they do. And,
can I just throw a wild card scenario?
Yeah, 100%.
It's 420, so let's have fun with this one. I just thought about it. I wasn't ignoring you, but I thought about it.
No, you're good.
And this is not going to happen. But let's just say it happens. I want it on record somewhere. Nick Aldis fails to get Randy Orton an opponent. Randy Orton pretty much says, well, I'm going to make sure that your life is going to be a misery hell. Randy Orton, out of nowhere, RKO Cody Rhodes. If I don't get a match, I'm ruining fucking WrestleMania. And then John Cena, 1, 2, 3. And that sets up a Cody Randy Orton feud.
Which allows John Cena to go off in his sunset for a little bit, do his movie. Then you could have that as your main event. That's interesting. I like that. Let's note it.
I mean, it's very, very low % chance of happening, but what if? That'd be super cool. Out of left field.
There you go. I like it. It makes sense because then, hey, I don't have to beat you to win. RKO, roll him in the ring. 1, 2, 3. I don't have to wrestle you. I'm done. 1, 2, 3. I'm the champion. Randy's sitting there, standing on the steps. John Cena's celebrating. Fans are going to be pissed because they want to see a match. But at the same time, It's a part of the story. And
I mean, I do think Cena and I'm just saying that Randy.
and I will say, tomorrow, they announced today on Michael Cole. I mean, the Michael Cole announced that Paul McAfee, Pat McAfee show on the Pat McAfee show, John Cena and Paul Heyman will be there. They'll be live. So I noted that.
Yeah, John's not going to show up if he loses.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, but I just love that Paul Heyman is there, So I'm like,
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to see. But you know what, dude? Guys, all I could say to you, to those who are watching, the smart marks, and to the others, the IWC, those guys, just sit back and enjoy the show. WrestleMania, guys. This is awesome. We won't do a post show. We will do a post show. Basically, we're going to do WrestleMania Night 2 recap, Raw after WrestleMania recap, SmackDown after WrestleMania recap on next Saturday. So we got a big show next Saturday. I'll probably be just getting back. No, I'll be burnt the hell out because I'll be doing 6.5 hours of draft and then jumping on.
Right?
Yeah. So, maybe by the time the guys will be taking over and then I'll hop on here and how you doing, Bobby? No, I'm burnt, motherfucker. But I am ready to go. Until then, Josh, any final thoughts?
Yeah, exactly. Just enjoy the night. Going to be some great matches. If the things don't go the way you want to, just remember, you're not writing the story. You're just watching, just like all of us. And honestly, odds are Triple H has something cooking for us. So cannot wait. Wait.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Thank you all for watching. We will see you guys next Saturday here on No Holds Barred to recap WrestleMania Night 2, Raw after WrestleMania, and SmackDown.
And don't text me after 8:30.
Don't text Josh, for the love of God. He is an old man. Peace.